year. I want you guys to just think about cycles and how important water is for life. Everyone can see rather easily and physically touch this body of water in some form, whether you just turn on the water faucet, or you're looking at clouds moving up in the sky, or you're by a lake, a pond, the bay, a creek. But as we're so lucky today, we have some rain, right? So there's precipitation, but through this whole cycle of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, transpiration coming out of the plants, um, or it's just moving through the ground and running off into the creeks. All of this water is connecting every part of the earth. And that's kind of where we're headed this week, is just looking at all the different cycles of matter that make life possible. So plants are an active part of the water cycle in a lot of ways, right? Transpiration is that process where the plants are evaporating moisture through the surfaces of their leaves as it exits out the stomata. And it pulls that water up through the xylem as it's being evaporated. It's like a chain. It pulls up from the bottom. And although we forget that there's these in lines that says, like, oh, this is a boundary. Well, none of the plants see that as a boundary, so none of the water respects that as a boundary. It's all moving. And human beings are linked to this need for water. A lot of our cities, our big cities, are all along coastal areas and rivers because we use water to move things around, but also we just can't live without it, So our bodies are about 65 to 75% water. And every molecule within us has somehow been part of the ocean in times past, or it's been moved around over and over, and it's just taking a break being in you right now. Living things are partly made of water. Remember, all of our cells are mostly cytoplasm, which is water. And so all life depends on water in some way. So anyways, I want you just to, we're going to go on a little tour around the world here. And you can either watch it or close your eyes and just visualize. But imagine how you are connected. And I want you to sit or rest quietly in a comfortable position and just relax and listen carefully and think about the images that come into your mind as we go on our little field trip here. And what you're going to be able to do is take a little moment and I hope, and just imagine that water and connecting everybody. So here's Los Osos Middle School, and let's just pretend that you're going to try to imagine the things that you hear me describing. So just relax, and when you're back from our little virtual field trip, I'd like you just to draw or paint any image that really sticks with you from our trip. Okay? So just do your best to picture what I'm describing. Imagine that you walked out past the fields, down through a trail, and you headed out towards a green ribbon of trees down to Los Osos Creek. And you sat there and stuck your feet in the creek. And as you stuck your feet in that creek, your bare feet are swinging in this cool, clear water. The water feels good, but it's cool. And you feel this current washing over your feet, pulling at your feet. And think about that water just flowing past you until it reaches a larger body of water, rushing over your toes, pulling your consciousness with it. And just imagine where that water is going, that it's flowing down past your feet, out into a stream that's connecting with a larger stream, that it's pulling in a powerful flow down toward the sea. And you can see this green ribbon of trees, and everywhere the water goes, there's life. There's birds singing as it pulls you past out into the farmlands, past the trees. You head out into the bay. And as you get pulled out to the bay, you realize that this current is actually taking you even farther out, past the city and the factories. And the tide is going out, and it's pulling you out past the beautiful sandy shores of the Sandspit, all the way out past the rock and out into the sea. And this continuous current of water, you can feel the sea is made up of these currents like rivers in this giant ocean. And stretch your mind and imagine that you are part of this huge world ocean that carries you up through Estero Bay and all the way out to the Pacific Ocean, out past Hawaii, out past the entire current, and even could take you underneath the Golden Gate Bridge as this tide moves through and takes you underneath, touching the shores of San Francisco. Your touch laps against the shores of the Pacific Ocean, flowing under the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco's bay. Your current, moving through the whole ocean, takes you all around the earth, up through the North Atlantic, up and out through the whole coastline, all the way around, circulating all the way through the Arctic. Your own body contains water that's part of this system. It pours from the sky as a storm rages dark and gray. It drenches an Alaskan native on the Arctic shores, shivering in her parka, warming her up. It glistens on the back of a Greek boy on the other side of the earth, who tugs fiercely on fishing nets in the warm Mediterranean Sea. Water connects your feet with every stream flowing in every ocean, every part of this ocean connecting the whole world. You can reach up the rivers to the hearts of continents. You can feel the tremor of the hippopotamus as they go into splashing in to a beautiful river full of life. The African river keeping all of these hippos happily splashing around. People come to see them jumping and splashing into beautiful waters. The water flows all the way up the rivers in the Everglades of Florida. You can feel an alligator silently sliding toward a heron in the Florida Everglades. You can feel beavers busily building a dam on a stream in Europe. You can see water, thousands of tons of it, in great drifting fleets of heavy white clouds. Your reach embraces all the whales, all the porpoises, dolphins, sharks, fish. You are connected to all these creatures. You can feel the flow of the current of the miles-wide Amazon River as it flows down through huge forests and trees, down into wide channels where river dolphins come to swim and feed where people's lives are connected through the boats that they take on these huge journeys up the Amazon River. You imagine the joyful people playing in the rivers, connecting to everybody's lives. The rain that pours into the rainforests, the clouds that drift over schools, that carry the rain back again, up to the mountains, only to gently fall down into the forests. These people whose lives depend on this river, paddling, taking their families to and fro, fishing, the animals that need all of the habitat that is kept sacredly safe by this wide expanse of water. Your water has taken a journey all around the world. It flows even in rivers close to us. Bring yourself down the Colorado River. Imagine rafting through the Grand Canyon. Imagine taking a fun-filled trip, floating through the creeks, down through the forest, down to the lakes, and passing by people splashing through the great rapids of the Colorado River. Imagine all the ducks and the fish swimming on your shores. Your life-giving waters bring green to this desert land. It feeds through the faucets of everyone in Colorado, down through Nevada. You're a drop of water coming out into Los Angeles through the pipes. And of course, that water flowing over your feet, it connects you to everyone else who is now sitting, drinking water, flowing in a river. All of it brings you back here to where we are. So bring your senses back from the world's rivers and oceans, back to the surfaces of your feet, back to where you are. And when you feel ready, open your eyes. And think about the importance of water in your life. Think about what you use water for. Think about where that water has come from, where it's been. Think about how important it is for every living thing to have some of that water, and how we share this beautiful earth and share our water with the farms, with the wildlife, with the fish, with each other. We truly are part of a bigger planet that is all we have, this oasis in the universe where we have life because we have water. We are a water planet. Relax and try to recreate any picture in your mind, anything that stuck out to you today, and really get into the details, the colors. Think about that picture that paints an image of the importance of water to you. And really get into the plants, the animals, and I want you to try to capture it all in one scene. Pay attention to the role of water in the lives of people, plants, and animals. Get really clear, recreate that picture in your mind. Take a minute to just really think about what that scene looks like to you, what stuck out in your mind.